And he's just there cowering. And then this is when Atsu gets up and he's like, Nishi, is that you? Is that this little ball over here? This little fucking cowering piece of shit? And then he puts his gun right up to his asshole. And he's like, I'm going to... He says some wild shit about raping Mion again. And then Nishi's like, gets so mad and he's screaming, I'm going to hurt you. Before he can complete saying hurt, Atsu shoots him in the asshole all the way up through the brain and kills him.
And shortly after that, Joe and I exchanged some brief first opinions about the film because this is like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
This is not far into the movie.
And we've talked about it for about that amount of time. But, you know, I was like, do you still think that Ride Your Wave is the most bonkers movie you've ever seen?
Yeah.
And he was like, I mean, that guy just got shot through the asshole, up his spine and through his brain. And I was like, yeah, I know. I can't unsee that.
Yeah.
And then you see it over and over and over again in the next scene.
Yeah, because part of Nishi's afterlife limbo area is he's just reliving his cowardice in his final moments, and he like can't take it anymore, and he's just like, this is awful, I can't stand this. And then God is even mocking him. He's like, you're a turd, you're a piece of bird shit, you're less than dog dick. And Nishi's like, I get it, dude, I get it, I'm lame, I'm a loser. And then God is like, do you get it though? Do you get that you're bird shit? You're less than dog cum? And he's like, yes. He comes face to face with God. This is 25 minutes into the movie now.
Yeah.
We saw like some normal anime shit, like a guy that's scared to confess his love. Then we saw some violent, crazy
very
anime
Tarantino
shit. Then we see a guy get shot up the asshole, killed. Now he's talking to God. And God's like, yeah, man, you're a loser. Sucks to suck, basically, but you're dead now. And if you go over to that red void over there, you're going to disappear. That's it. And Nishi's like, that's it? Are you serious? There's no afterlife? There's nothing? And God's like, what do you want from me, dude? Like, you're a loser. Like,
yeah, he's like, that way to the void.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then he's like, and can you hurry it up too? Because I got a date. And Nishi's like, you got a date? You're God. And he's like, yeah, hurry up, man. You just walk over into that void. And Nishi's walking and he keeps looking back. Is this really it? God's like, yeah, that's really it, dude. He keeps walking. He keeps turning back around like, you sure? You sure there's nothing else? And God's like, I'm sure, I'm God. And then Nishi looks over his shoulder one more time and then he sees a blue void. And he's like, wait, if the red void means that I'm just going to disappear forever, the blue void must mean that I get reincarnated or something. I'm going to fucking run to the blue void. Fuck God. So he runs.
I'm not done yet.
Yeah. So he runs past God. And God's like, what are you doing? I told you to go to the red void. And he's like, I'm not done yet. Not yet. My magic is never giving up. And he starts running to the blue void. And God's chasing him. He's like, you sure you want to do this? You don't have the will to do it. You're a piece of shit. You're less than dog shit. And Nishi's like, no, I'm not done yet. I can't go out this way. And God's like, ooh, but it looks like you're disappearing. And he starts to disappear. And he's like, no, fuck that. I'm not disappearing. You're disappearing. And then God's like, ooh, okay, all right. And then he finally makes it to like the breach of like the end where he just takes a final leap and goes back into living. And then God's like, you're a good one, Nishi. Get this.
God's like, hey, I'm rooting for you.
He's like, I'm on your side, buddy. Don't forget that. It's like 20 minutes ago, you were telling him to like evaporate forever. 20 minutes,
and then he's
20
like,
seconds.
We got us a runner. Yeah. I'm into it. I respect that.
It's like, oh, okay. He's not just going to listen to me. Okay.
Oh, God. All right. So now we're in 26 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. So then he gets transported back to the exact moment where he gets the gun shoved up his butt.
Yep.
And this time around, he's got a different plan.
He clenches the shit out of his butt to hold that gun, and he disarms this man with his ass.
Yeah.
which is something I think, maybe they teach in Krav Maga. I've never been, but if they don't, maybe they should.
We got to get on our squat game a bit more. We got to do some hip thrusts to get that powerful of an ass.
Honestly, that's, new meaning for buns of steel.
Yeah. Because he stole the gun.
Yeah.
And there's steel.
Yeah. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
Like, I thought at the end of the movie, God would have appeared again and been like, you really did it, Nishi, or something.
Yeah, that he would have had a moment again.
Yeah,
I guess
like
he's too
God would
busy
have
dating or whatever.
Yeah, like I thought that the God thing would, like, there would have been a bookend or something, but God doesn't show up again.
No, God does not show up again. I mean, we didn't really talk about the way God shows up in the first place, except that he's abusive. But just with him changing constantly, it's kind of nice because he kind of goes like, "Oh, you can't decide what I am," And so he's like constantly popping into different forms and figures, and I think that's a great way to deal with the idea of what God looks like, because people will attempt it, and for the most part, it's like, oh, he's just a voice,
or as an old man or whatever, or Morgan Freeman,
just a dude.
Thanks for watching that clip from the Anime Movie Podcast. Follow the links in the description below to hear full episodes, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more fun clips like this.